Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to take your chair and to sit? We will start the final session. Could you please take your seat? So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all participants over the last 2 days. We had very intensive and inspiring discussions. I think it should be stated again that it is absolutely remarkable to have a forum where city leaders can gather in a UN formal body and talk about the pact for the future and its local implications. This is really something we could not take for granted until recently, and which I am very proud of, and you can be proud too. About our agenda this afternoon, yesterday morning a request has been made to switch agenda item 10, elections of the next session chairpersons, with item 9, statements for mayors of the future of cities, as some mayors are leaving early. This agenda change, along with the amended version, was then adopted. As per the terms of reference of the Forum of Mayors, the next session chairpersons will be elected by the Forum of Mayors until the end of the following session. So, the Bureau of the 2025 Forum of Mayors is made up of 1 chair and 2 vice chairs. And let me now give the floor to the Secretariat. Paula Deda, merci beaucoup.
Merci, Sami. And good afternoon to everybody. As we are now dealing with elections, it will be the Secretariat to handle this particular agenda item. Before the forum, the Secretariat actually officially invited interested mayors to apply to become chair and vice chair of the forum. You might recall this was in your invitation letter. 3 cities actually expressed their interest, and the 3 candidates have already consulted amongst themselves and agreed to put forward the following proposal for your consideration. I think you're seeing it on the screen. Let me just stress, and is it up there? Yeah, okay, good, perfect. So we have Ms. Susan Aitken, City Leader of Glasgow, UK, as chair. You all know Susan, she was on the podium this morning. Mr. Eckhard Wunzer, Mayor of Heidelberg, Germany, Vice Chair. And here I have to inform you that unfortunately the Mayor of Heidelberg could not be here with us today, not because he's gone home earlier and he did not care about the election, but because he fell very, very ill yesterday. Actually, I should warn those that were sitting next to him because he was very, very ill. And he said that it could come at 3 o'clock, but he didn't want to do it because he was ill. Normally, to be elected, you have to be present in the room. But with your indulgence, we will proceed in any case, unless there are objections. As I mentioned, it's not because he left, but because he's actually at the hotel as we speak, quite ill. And then we have Mr. Gregor Macedoni, Mayor of Novo Mesto, Slovenia, as proposed Vice Chair. And we have Ms. Sami Kanan, Deputy Mayor of Geneva, Switzerland, as ex officio. As you know, the city hosting the Forum of Mayors, Geneva, has been appointed as ex officio member in the past, and we propose that this will be continued. So you, Sami, and the city of Geneva will remain as an observer in the Bureau to continue to provide support in logistical matters and organizational matters related to the forum in Geneva, for which, by the way, we are extremely grateful, and your presence is always very, very helpful. Now, of course, those is all pending, and this it's important I make this, that I note this important point, that the election is, of course, pending the continuation of the Forum of Mayors beyond 2024, which will be decided by the Committee on Urban Development, Housing and Land Management on 3 October and subsequently by EXCOM. Given how this forum is working, I don't see any problems with that, but of course is a procedural matter that I had to bring to your attention. So I think that all the names are on the screen, and if there are no objections, then the new chair and vice chairs can be elected by acclamation. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Paula. And we obviously all wish best recovery to our colleague of Heidelberg. I hope he doesn't get a bad memory of Geneva because of that. It's never funny to be ill when we are abroad. But still, I would like to extend my congratulations to the newly appointed chair and vice chairpersons and offer the best support for their mandate and best wishes for a productive year as they lead the organization of the next Forum of Mayors in 2025. Allow me now to move on a very important matter, the discussion of the draft outcome document of this Forum of Mayors. Copy of the draft outcome are available at the entrance of the room if you have it not in your hands. I insist on the fact that the document you got is the outcome of a long elaboration process with cities present today. A consultative process has taken place, which included 3 rounds of informal consultation with city representatives on the 19th of July, the 29th of August, and the 19th of September 2024. So today marks our final opportunity to review this document paragraph by paragraph before adopting it officially at the end of this meeting. I now invite the mayors and deputy mayors to take the floor if necessary, if requested so, and contribute to this statement. If you wish to take the floor, you can raise the nameplate of your city so can I see the fact that you wish to intervene. Then you will speak. Please, in any case, state your title and the city you represent and your name, just to be sure that we can identify you. I hope you are all ready. So you have the copy, which is the last draft, 19th of September. I won't read all the paragraphs, but I will go first on the page 1, which are the introductory comments. Page 1, no comments. Then we arrive to page 2, which we move to our demands. And as you have seen in the middle of the page, it's a very important sentence. We, mayors gathered at the 4th Forum of Mayors meeting, the Cities Summit of the Future, held on 30th September to 1st of October 2020 in Geneva, Switzerland. And then come the items numerated from 1 onwards. Since the Pact for the Future adopted at the General Assembly in the UN recently has been a bit weakened down regarding the engagement of LRGs, local and regional governments, in the UN. With the consultation of many partners, I would suggest to make a following amendment to operative paragraph 1, and then later on a new formulation for paragraph 3. On paragraph 1, instead of welcome the adoption, to take note of the adoption. It's a diplomatic way to say that we are happy to have the pact, but we are not totally enthusiastic about the way it has been formulated regarding the future role of LRGs. On this specific, before moving to this other one, do you have any comments or objection on putting, as I said, I repeat, instead of welcome of the adoption, take note of the adoption? So you have it on the screen. If there are no objection, Glasgow, Susan.
Vice Chair, no objection at all, but rather an endorsement, I think, of that change of language. I think it is important that we express as you say, through diplomatic language, disappointment perhaps at the watering down of the status of cities within the Pact for the Future. And it seems to me that that slight change of language is a way to do that without rejecting in its entirety that we have made some progress and we should recognise that, but we're expressing that we could have made more progress. So perhaps we're not quite in a position of welcoming. So absolutely to endorse that change of language. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Glasgow. And as the chairperson of the forum, it's nice to have your strong words, Susan. So it seems there is no objection. Then we can move to the new suggested formulation of operative item 3. I guess you have it also. It's typing. I will read the new version and then you will have it on the screen soon. Instead of the one you have in the original draft, we suggest express concern that the Pact for the Future merely calls upon the UN Secretary General to offer recommendations on how engagement with local and regional authorities could advance the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and hope that states will, in the future, consider ways to strengthen the engagement of local and regional governments with the UN intergovernmental bodies and processes. So it's a way to strengthen, again, the same line of argumentation like we just had before. Yes. Pincha, please. Pincha, please, yes. Take the floor.
Alcaldes, alcaldesas, a la mesa directiva quisiéramos hacer una sugerencia en los puntos de gobernanza global. Quisiéramos insistir en la naturaleza autoorganizada de lo que implican el colectivo de alcaldes, alcaldesas, gobernadores, prefectos y prefectas. Por lo tanto, quisiéramos solicitar la incorporación de un inciso, un numeral, en donde coloquemos, lo digo expresamente, abro comillas, recordamos la naturaleza autoorganizada de nuestro colectivo y su aportación a las recomendaciones del Grupo Asesor del Secretario General de Naciones Unidas. Creo que este ha sido un tema recurrente el día de ayer, tanto en las intervenciones inaugurales como en las distintas mesas. Se ha hecho énfasis a poder apoyar y soportar las aportaciones del Grupo Asesor del Secretario General de Naciones Unidas. Esto respecto del punto de gobernanza global. Tenemos una siguiente observación sobre desarrollo sostenible. No sé, presidente, presidenta o vicepresidente, si lo hago en este momento o cuando abordemos desarrollo sostenible.
Thank you very much. Could you first please repeat slowly your suggestions, just that we can write it down? The first one you just made, could you just repeat it, please?
Vicepresidente, recordamos la naturaleza autoorganizada de nuestro colectivo y su aportación a las recomendaciones del Grupo Asesor del Secretario General de Naciones Unidas, el señor Antonio Guterres.
Gracias.
De nada.
And you can continue with the other.
¿Me escucha? La siguiente observación en el punto de desarrollo sostenible. Leo expresamente el inciso a ser incorporado. Recordando que los gobiernos locales y regionales son guardianes de la confianza pública y están posicionados para asegurar la equidad y resiliencia a través de la provisión de servicios públicos y sistemas de protección social.
Thank you. Could you again please repeat slowly? Yeah, Paula.
Sorry,
President,
Pichincha, if you bear with us first to look at whether we understood the first sentence you proposed. We recall the self-organized nature of our collective and its commitment to the Secretary General Advisory Group. I'm not so sure about the meaning of our collective, whether you mean the forum here, this forum. Okay, very good. Then we can leave it like this. Is that sentence okay? As it is on the screen? Okay. Then, and its contribution, okay.
sí, estamos de acuerdo, Presidenta. Disculpe, la segunda observación en desarrollo sostenible, ¿puedo dar lectura? Listo. Recordando que los gobiernos locales y regionales son guardianes de la confianza pública y están posicionados para asegurar la equidad y resiliencia a través de la provisión de servicios públicos y sistemas de protección social.
Thank you very much. The way it's written now on the screen, is it okay? So we got two comments, proposal from Peninsula. If I go back the story, I originally brought a new formulation for operative paragraph 3. I didn't have any reactions on that. It seems. And now we got two proposals from Peninsula, which have been shown on the screens, which makes sense. I think the advisory committee of the Secretary General is indeed a body which plays a role important on the process, so to connect. We may change a small details for the formulation to improve it. So we may continue the discussion on the statement. Yes? Yeah. Nicosia.
I have a suggestion on paragraph 8.
But
if you would like to go there and then we make the comment.
Paragraph 8.
Yes, I would like to propose an addition building on the comments made by the Congress yesterday. So adding and to respect after the end of the sentence, and to respect legally binding treaties and charters safeguarding the ability of local and regional governments to finance SDGs.
Could you please repeat slowly, because we are writing as you as you said, please, yes. Mayor.
So only continue the sentence by and to respect legally binding treaties and charters safeguarding the ability of local and regional governments to finance SDGs. This is a reference, an indirect reference to the European Charter of local governments and the need of it to be respected.
Thank you very much, Mayor. You have it on the screen. Is it correctly? Thank you very much. Any objections on that? I guess not. That was for operative paragraph number 8. Okay. I don't see problem. They don't. It's not. It's not that. Okay. So we were by item 8. Utrecht.
Let's see. Sorry? It's working. Yes. Thank you, Chairman. I would like to go back a bit to number 6, if it's possible.
Sure.
Okay, great. And as my colleague from Pichincha already told, we want to make a stronger connection with the outcome of this Forum of Mayors with the local the advisory group of the UN for local and regional governments. And I would like to add something. Let's see, after 18 April 2023, including by ensuring that they can contribute to developing collective decisions under the right conditions for collaboration. And yes, it.
Repeat once more.
Yeah, we repeat. Including ensuring
Slowly, please.
Slowly.
that they can contribute to developing collective decisions under the right conditions for collaboration. At the top of these conditions is the need to expand and make the United Nations fit for purpose for the future. Recognizing local for the future and sentence. Yes, recognizing local and regional governments as distinct political actors within the UN system, separate from other stakeholders, is crucial for the new multilateralism of the 21st century. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any comment or objections on this proposal from Utrecht? Not okay. So on this, seems everybody's okay. So we pursue our discussion, and I see a colleague from Arezzo.
where I would like to change the word model with organization.
As first, I would like to move. We were item 6 and 8. I would just to finish page 3. So items 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. There are twice 12. 13. On this page 3, yes, split.
Hello, I have a proposal for the item 12. Yes, to add, to prioritize.
Okay. Yes, dear colleague, today's statement, unfortunately, only the yellow official members of the forum and not only participating observer are entitled to make modifications, unfortunately. But you will mention your comment at the end. We can take into account informally. But for the formal statements, the state have defined the member cities which are present here and the regional commissions. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Mafra, please.
Thank you. It's in the item 12. Call on all relevant stakeholders in particular states to prioritize education, culture and sports. To introduce education, please.
Sounds very reasonable. I guess there are no objections. Thank you very much, Mafra. Strasbourg.
Merci beaucoup. Ce n'est pas vraiment une modification, mais c'est plutôt un commentaire sur le 12. À l'occasion de la discussion, je représente ici la présidente de l'Eurométropole, Christian Brassac, vice-président de l'Eurométropole de Strasbourg. Un commentaire simplement. À l'occasion de la discussion sur cette déclaration finale, je souhaite au nom de l'Eurométropole de Strasbourg exprimer tout d'abord ma grande satisfaction sur le fait que le pacte de l'avenir ait inscrit formellement son souhait de renforcer les partenariats et les échanges avec les autorités locales et régionales pour territorialiser les objectifs de développement durable. Je souhaite également exprimer mes remerciements à la Commission économique européenne de l'ONU pour l'invitation qui a été faite à l'Eurométropole de Strasbourg de participer au Forum des maires 2024. Avec ce Forum des maires, la Commission économique européenne a su préfigurer depuis 2020 une instance de dialogue entre les villes et les organes de l'ONU. Elle démontre cette année sa volonté d'ouvrir cette instance aux villes d'autres régions du monde avec des représentants des villes d'Afrique, d'Amérique et d'Asie. Cela hisse ce forum au niveau d'un organe ouvert et efficace de dialogue international entre les gouvernements locaux et régionaux et l'ONU. C'est ce dont le système multilatéral a besoin et j'exprime le vœu que ce forum puisse accroître encore davantage son audience dans le système des Nations Unies dans les années à venir. Nous le savons, l'implication des gouvernements locaux et régionaux est une condition indispensable pour l'atteinte des objectifs 2030. La revue volontaire locale que nous avons réalisée à Strasbourg cette année a démontré que nous intervenons sur 74% des cibles du cadre global. Une mobilisation plus large des villes est nécessaire dans les prochaines années pour la réalisation de l'agenda 2030 et cela s'accompagne d'un meilleur alignement des efforts à tous les niveaux pour combler les retards déjà pris par l'agenda 2030. Et je me réjouis tout particulièrement de l'introduction dans le pacte de l'avenir des questions de culture et de sport. Nous défendons cette idée depuis 2018 à Strasbourg comme lors des rencontres internationales. La culture constitue en effet une dimension essentielle pour la mobilisation de l'ensemble des citoyens dans les transformations territoriales que nous nous devons de mettre en œuvre. Elle mérite, comme l'a exprimé la déclaration Mondia Culte en 2022, qu'un objectif spécifique lui soit consacré. Le sport constitue également une dimension essentielle du bien-être qu'il convient d'aborder du point de vue de la santé des personnes ainsi que de la qualité de la vie collective grâce aux valeurs de respect et de fraternité que promet le sport. Les Jeux olympiques et paralympiques de Paris 24 en ont constitué une démonstration exemplaire de succès et de ferveur populaire, d'esprit de fraternité entre les peuples et d'espoir d'inclusion de tous. Enfin, je veux souligner le soutien constant de la France à l'organisation et à la tenue de ce forum. Elle est en cela fidèle à sa culture de dialogue démocratique et de décentralisation de l'action. Elle saura participer à la poursuite des réflexions pour l'établissement d'un dialogue pérenne et efficace de l'ONU avec les autorités locales, dans le respect du rôle central des États dans la gouvernance mondiale. Je vous remercie.
Merci beaucoup Strasbourg pour ce partage qui effectivement rejoint nos enjeux et nos objectifs. Are there any other comments, suggestions for page 3 until item 13? If not, we can indeed move to page 4 with item 14 and followings, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And we are at item 19, so Arezzo.
Really to participate in the work of the UN and blah, 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 blah. We need to be defined as an organization, not as a model. Do you agree?
A body, which is the usual word in United Nations, but you're right, it's not only a model. A model is a bit theoretical. A body is something effective.
Exactly.
Okay, no objections, I guess. 1920 to 20, I just have a comment about the future of the Forum of Mayors. I'm really happy and grateful for the high level of presence to this forum this evening, enfin, these days, and also the enthusiasm to widen it up to all the world in a more formal way. Again, I thank UNSCE to have been initiators of the whole project. And we have many more mayors from all over the world this time, and I hope next time even more, 2025. And I'm sure that the forum will organize sessions at different places, while at the moment it's still a UN-related body and has to take place in a UN-anchored city like Geneva, could be also one day Nairobi or elsewhere, because it's important that we, as we just seen before, you remember, we met the head of international agencies because they are in Geneva, Filippo Grandi, and Li Wenli from WHO and the two other colleagues. So, but the firm will evolve, but the first step is to stabilize it as a UN body. So just to avoid any misunderstandings, I guess 2025, I hope that Kudlum and the ExCom will confirm this enthusiasm to convene us again next year in an even wider scope. That was only a comment. Any other comments, suggestions on 19, 20, and 21? 21 is a very important one because what we'll adopt today will be officially transmitted to the Secretary General. I don't see any more demands. Paula, anything more?
I will have 2 comments, if I may.
Yeah, sure. And yes, a comment from Strasbourg also. But Paula, please take the floor. Strasbourg.
Je voulais juste revenir sur le 12. Je me disais, est-ce que c'est pas apporter de la confusion que d'ajouter le mot éducation, puisqu'il y a un ODD qui est spécifique sur l'éducation. C'était juste ma remarque, puisqu'elle vient d'arriver, cette proposition d'introduire l'éducation. Or, il y a un ODD qui est spécifique à l'éducation. Donc, question, est-ce que ça fait pas... ça n'amène pas de la confusion potentielle.
Je vous remercie de votre commentaire. Je ne pense pas dans le sens que le document ne suit pas strictement les ODD un par un. Donc je pense que l'intention était juste de rappeler l'importance de l'éducation en général. Mais je vous remercie de votre commentaire. Et puis j'ai vu effectivement alors la présidence du ExCom du NSI et la Suisse qui voulait juste faire un commentaire. Ambassadeur Boris Richard.
The floor, although I do represent here a member state, I would like to quickly commend mayors for all their fruitful interventions and also congratulate mayors for their very careful reading of the Pact for the Future. I think this draft statement of yours is extremely useful and well structured, and now obviously it is your statement. I don't want to intervene into what your feelings and priorities are, and I welcome this. Since the very beginning. Switzerland, together with the canton and the city of Geneva, were always very strong supporters of this forum because it actually gives an opportunity for mayors to have their say in a very official manner inside the UN system. And in that sense, I just was willing to seek clarification on which paragraph was that, 20. And I thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your comments. But I think I would very much welcome mayors, for the sake of clarity, to clarify the comments you have just made in the text. I think it will be useful for our successors, it will be useful for our readers in New York, and so I could not agree more with everything you said, Mr. Chairman, but I would very much encourage mayors to clarify this, to put your comments in words into the text, with a footnote or by rephrasing the paragraph. And in this connection, although, again, it is your statement, but I wish to remind to mayors that this whole Forum of Mayors is based on a decision by member states of the UNECE, and this decision was taken at a fairly high level, and the decision states that the Forum of Mayors will take place annually in Geneva. That's what the decision of member states says. Now, you may encourage cities and member states to think differently, but it means that member states will have to change their decision, which they perfectly can do, and we will listen to your wishes. But I would very much welcome a clarification from mayors. What do mayors actually, which message are mayors actually willing to give to member states? Are they saying that they want to have a rotation of the forum taking place every year in another city? Or are they happy with having the forum annually in Geneva or not? It will help our work as member states in the future if we have a little bit more clarity on this paragraph. And I will stop here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, Permanent Representative. I think your voice as member state and I think President Chairman of the Executive Committee of UNSC is important. I guess from what I understood from the colleagues that they are fully aware that since the Forum of Mayors is a UN body and even beyond the formal aspects, the aim is to interact with the UN community, which means being mainly in UN cities, because that's where you get access. Like today, we've seen it with 4 major agencies with UN bodies, and that's where it happens. So it should be mainly UN cities, but the Forum of Mayors, from my point of view, has a nice destiny of being expanded. I was talking to several mayors from different continents, and that we're very happy also to host either regional meetings or specialized meetings of the Forum of Mayors in the future, in parallel to the stabilization of the Forum of Mayors as the main body, as we just said, of the United Nations. So that's where we have to find a balance, because, Paula, you are very creative. How could we...
Actually, I had 2 comments, and one maybe I can propose some language for para 20 in order not to... to find a balance between this request and actually the decisions that EXCOM is likely to take. Not to close the paragraph completely, but at the same time to respect decisions of higher bodies. It could be encourage cities in cooperation with member states in different UN regions. My first comment will be before hosting to participate, just to add participate, and host, as appropriate and in line with relevant EXCOM decisions, and then it stays like this. So it is very clear that this doesn't overtake the EXCOM decision, but is EXCOM that decides accordingly. So should I read it again? Maybe encourage cities, wait, where do I have to look? Okay, here. Encourage cities in cooperation with member states in different new regions to participate and host as appropriate and in line with relevant EXCOM decisions, because we might have more than one, the meetings of the forum. And if you allow me, then I have another comment.
Sure.
And I don't want to change the text of any mayors, but it was just a strategic comment on the intervention of Utrecht. I don't remember what is the paragraph now, if it's para 9. You remember the one that has been... 6?
Paragraph 6.
No, what is it? Yeah, exactly. So, okay, you can...
6.
I think I see... can you highlight it so I see it? So, just first comment, then of course you might see the text at the end slightly edited. Once it's adopted, then we will edit because I see some repetitions, but we will never change it. I have just a comment on recognizing local and regional governments as a distinct political actors within the UN system. I understand what is behind, but I think that you're limiting and I understand the message is coming from mayors. They want to be political actors, but if you're a political actor, then you are excluding also all other roles you can have within the UN. I would say a distinct actors within the UN system. There are, for instance, places like the Committee on Housing when you're not going to be a political actor, but tomorrow we have an exchange on housing, and the housing crisis is very relevant for all mayors, and you will be also recognized as, so that would be my advice. And also, if it's fine with all mayors. Thank you.
Thank you, Paola. I don't see any tags up, so we have come to the end of the discussion on our statement. Again, many thanks for all the contributions, suggestions, and proposals that have improved once more the text. So this document shall now be adopted formally by the Forum of Mayors 2024 and supported by the other cities in attendance at the meeting. So I hereby confirm the adoption of the outcome statement, which will be transmitted by the Secretariat to the UN Secretary General and will be presented on the 85th session of the Committee on Urban Development, Housing and Land Management starting tomorrow. And I know that Paola will be specially dedicated to this transmission. Allow me maybe to provide some concluding remarks after our 2 intensive days, and I will switch to French so you can adapt your translation. Mesdames et messieurs les maires, chers et chers collègues, mesdames et messieurs les délégués, chers amis, ce 4e forum des maires a réuni à Genève des maires, maires adjoints et autres responsables municipaux de toutes les régions du monde. La force de ce forum est de vous avoir permis de débattre des implications locales du pacte pour l'avenir dans une enceinte formelle des Nations Unies. À ce stade, la seule enceinte formelle des Nations Unies prévue pour les élus locaux. Il était passionnant d'entendre vos points de vue, vos défis, vos succès, sur tous les thèmes abordés dans ce pacte pour l'avenir. Qu'il s'agisse de vos difficultés pour mobiliser les ressources nécessaires à la mise en œuvre des objectifs du développement durable, ou de vos mesures pour promouvoir la cohésion sociale, ou de votre façon d'appréhender les nouvelles technologies pour mieux répondre aux besoins de vos populations, ou de permettre aux jeunes de vos communautés de participer à la vie locale et d'avoir un certain pouvoir de décision à cet égard, ou de gérer les flux migratoires parfois importants, dont on vient d'ailleurs d'évoquer l'enjeu avec le haut-commissaire aux réfugiés, ou de vous faire reconnaître par vos autorités nationales comme partenaires de plein droit à la fois des diagnostics et des solutions, on peut vraiment dire que l'échange d'expériences et de solutions a été très enrichissant pour toutes et tous. J'espère donc vivement que le forum pourra se renforcer au fil des années et constituer un véritable point d'ancrage robuste pour les gouvernements locaux et régionaux au sein de l'Organisation des Nations Unies, qui se doit d'être plus ouverte et plus inclusive pour demeurer pertinente à l'avenir. Et je crois qu'aussi du point de vue des organisations membres des Nations Unies, les agences internationales, on l'a vu tout à l'heure dans l'autre salle, il y a une véritable attente à cet égard. Ce forum doit devenir un organe incontournable des Nations Unies qui incarne un multilatéralisme plus inclusif tel que promu par le secrétaire général Antonio Guterres. Et en ce sens, partager les conclusions à ce stade du comité consultatif concernant les gouvernements locaux qui a été mis en place par le secrétaire général. Je vous invite donc à partager avec le secrétariat aussi à l'avenir, les prochains mois, vos opinions et vos suggestions sur les moyens de renforcer ce forum et de le rendre aussi utile que possible pour vous et vos villes. Genève et le Global Cities Hub continueront de soutenir le Forum des maires à l'avenir. Nous nous réjouissons d'avoir accueilli déjà la 4e édition. J'en appelle bien sûr aux États d'en faire de même, de renouveler son mandat sur le long terme et d'élever son positionnement dans le système onusien. Si l'adoption du pacte pour l'avenir a des ramifications au niveau local, cela est aussi vrai pour la grande majorité des autres thématiques abordées par les États au sein de l'ONU. Les accords internationaux entre États ont un impact concret au niveau local. Et lorsque le monde est aussi polarisé qu'aujourd'hui, c'est d'autant plus important de donner la voix aux gouvernements locaux et régionaux pour rester reliés à la réalité de tous les jours de nos populations et essayer de trouver des solutions durables et pertinentes. Il est donc absolument nécessaire d'impliquer les villes et les régions pour à la fois négocier, définir et ensuite mettre en œuvre des accords sur le terrain. Notre rôle commence avec les diagnostics et va jusqu'à la recherche de solutions pragmatiques et efficaces. Le Forum des maires est donc l'enceinte idéale pour débattre de toutes les thématiques pertinentes et injecter nos perspectives et solutions locales au sein des Nations Unies. Le Forum devrait être aussi un moyen pour nous de participer en amont et au niveau international au processus de prise de décision sur des questions qui nous concernent. Enfin, pour terminer, permettez-moi d'exprimer ma gratitude à toutes celles et tous ceux qui ont contribué à faire de cet événement un grand succès. En premier lieu, bien sûr, les membres du bureau, les maires de Skopje, Glasgow et Braga, avec qui nous avons préparé ce forum. Bien sûr, le secrétariat de ce forum, mené par Paula et toute sa formidable équipe, et l'appui du Global Cities Hub. Vous avez toutes et tous travaillé dur pour mettre sur pied ce forum et lui insuffler de la vie et du sens avec la présence de tous ces maires. Merci pour votre travail, votre engagement et votre persévérance au fil des mois. Avec cela, j'ai le plaisir de donner la parole à Paula Deda, directrice de la division forêt, aménagement du territoire et du logement au sein de la CE-ONU, afin de clôturer cette séance. Merci Paula, vous avez la parole.
Thank you, Chair, and I will leave the closing, of course, with you. You are officially the person to close this event. I just had some procedural clarifications, and then if you allow me, also a few words about the forum. First of all, the outcome statement will be, of course, presented at the committee session on Thursday and then annexed to the report of the committee, so it will become part of an official document of the UN, and through that will be transmitted to the relevant bodies in UNECE and further. But also, as per your request, the request of the mayors, we will make sure that our executive secretary transmits this outcome statement to the Secretary General. We'll make sure that the letter to the Secretary General explains what happened here and explains how we work in this forum, so that he will also have this information. And we are sure that he will welcome all this information, because we have seen, starting from his message at the beginning of the session, that he's very, very committed to give a voice to local authorities. We have also had questions from some cities that are outside of the yellow ones. Sorry, we had to do it color-coded, but it's an important procedural issue, how they can support, whether they can join. I would say the moment this document becomes is issued by the UN is a public document. The best way to support it is really share it and also invite other cities over the next years to join the forum, whether officially or unofficially. We've seen this is really your forum to give voice to all of you. So that will be the best way to support our work. Just a small comment that all this work is based on extra budgetary resources. This is unfortunately not yet reflected in the program budget of the UN. And I don't want to bother you with all the rules and the names and terminology. But this work is possible because we have donors like Switzerland, like Italy, like Hungary that have supported us so far. But we are becoming bigger and bigger. And we have really a very small team that is taking care not only of the forum, but the committee, all the projects that you have seen also presented outside, all the reporting obligations. Whether as cities or by talking to your member states, please make sure to inform them of our work, and you're satisfied also to invite them to support us also financially. It's very, very important so that also next year we can offer you even better services. You'll all be given also a QR code for an evaluation of our work. Feel free. Don't feel that you have to be too nice. Actually, any feedback is a good feedback because it allows us to improve. And I have to say that I'm extremely satisfied with the format this year. This is the outcome of your feedback, because before we had panels where presentations, and you brought to us, we want a more interactive, more real UN-like type of interaction. And I think this year it worked really, really well. So please provide us with feedback. Last but not least, and then I will allow you to leave the room to enjoy beautiful, but I don't know if it's raining outside, but in any case, you Sami will arrange for the sun to come out, but meanwhile, the thank you, in addition to the donors, of course, to our great bureau, outgoing bureau, thank you so much for your work, for supporting us, but also thank you to your teams, because we had so many meetings with the teams of the mayors. You have seen also that this year, again, the mayors from the EC region, there are some terms of reference to be discussed by EXCOM. It's very clear this is a global group, so the terms of reference are also reflecting that global nature. So we hope that for the next session, we might have also in the Bureau mayors from outside the UNICE region. That will be, I believe, very appropriate. Maybe I'm saying something that my member states will not be very happy with me, but I'm saying it anyway, because this is really something I believe because of what has happened in this room during these 2 days. Special thank you to my special group, and I have to say it's really, really special, of regional commissions. Without the regional commissions, you guys down there, we have to take a picture, because honestly, we will not have this global forum without them, without their commitment. They've been working with us throughout the year, supporting for all we couldn't do, bringing you the mayors from other regions with us, and presenting, and it's really a fantastic group. We knew it because we have been doing a lot of things in the past together, and we are really a group of friends, for your information, because with our work we became really, really close friends. So there is also something more than a professional relationship. But this is also what the UN is about, I believe, and really forging everlasting friendships, and which we hope that is what this forum is also fostering. We hope that you have made friends in addition of meeting other mayors. All the new partners, of course, the Global Cities Hub is also basically part of our secretariat. I don't think there are even boundaries between our offices anymore. But also new partners like UCLG, which has really brought a lot to this table, and many others, and also the academia and private sector that has joined. I really don't want to forget anybody, so Mia, please let me know if I'm forgetting someone. Last but not least, really, I would like to thank all my secretariat, because unfortunately I cannot provide you with a list of long list of people, because we are a small secretariat, where you have seen them around and around me. All of them contributing, helping each other, and again, forging a very strong team. But allow me one last word and one last thank you to the person that is behind all of this. She has been working non-stop at the preparation of this meeting. And I can tell you she has been sending messages to me night and day, WhatsApp, Teams. She's not sending me official letters yet, but that's the rest has been Mia, because she's the secretary of the forum. She has been behind this. So she really deserves this. And with this, Sami, thank you also for being always with us. And it's really great to have Geneva behind this, because it's really the Geneva spirit, the Geneva International that is here. And I think this is what you mean when you say International Geneva. This is International Geneva. So thank you so much, Sami, for your support. And thank you, everybody. And I really hope to see you next year.
Thank you very much, Paula, and thank to you, because you have been totally committed to this project, and I declare the Forum of Mayors officially closed. Thank you very much.
One last announcement for those that are invited to the side event, action-oriented plans for implementing voluntary local reviews at Villarigot. I don't know who is going to take you there. Probably Andras. Andras, they're following you?
But it's 6. It's 6.
At 6 o'clock, okay. At 6 o'clock, Villarigot. I said it.